Hi friends, I'm sitting on my front porch in the heat because it's the only place that's quiet in my house during the summer. But we're going to talk about this text message right here. So many things to talk about and discuss, but starting all of this off with saying I am a real estate agent. I work off of referrals and prospecting and all of these things. So one of the things that I like to do is reach out to for sale by owners, offer them, any kind of advice that you have. You're not necessarily just trying to go in and get the listing, but educating them on just the process. Because if you don't do this every day, there's a lot of things that can happen that you don't necessarily know about. So this text message came from one of those interactions. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing we'll talk about is the offering 1% to a buyer's agent. In a for sale by owner situation, there's only one agent who is involved in that because the other one does not have representation. So there is no set standard of what a commission is supposed to be for an agent. But when you consider the fact that you are handling the entire transaction on your own, that you are, on your buyer's side dealing with home inspections, appraisals, negotiations, all of that, for the entire transaction, you are communicating with the title company, with the closing attorneys, all of this to set everything up and make sure that everything is, all your boxes are checked, every legality is covered. 1% for me is not going to happen, especially when we're talking about a lower price range home. Second thing we're going to talk about is saying that you're going to pay the agent cash at closing. That's a no-no. So again, if you don't do this and you don't do real estate, you probably don't understand how that works. But as an agent, we get paid through our broker. It has to go through the proper channels. So me working for Real Broker LLC, my checks go to them, and then they take the parts out of it that they need to for transaction fees and all of this stuff. And also on my team, if we have anything that's set up for that, it comes out of that and filters back into the team, and then I get paid. So in order for it to be legally correct, you can't pay me cash at closing. That's not how that works. That's completely illegal. And so it has to be paid through the broker, not in cash. Okay, flag number 3 for me. They said they will set up the closing. It's great and fine to have your own closing attorneys who you work well with, but they didn't mention anything about title in that. You have to have a title search done in order to, clear any liens or know if the seller has any unpaid dues that are on the property. So most of the people who I work with are title and closing attorneys. They're one entity and they can handle everything in one fell swoop. So setting up closing, and if you have somebody who you like and work with, that's totally fine. But we need to have those proper channels in place to make sure that title is good to go too. And again, I have folks who I love and work with who handle it, and it's amazing transactions, as I know some of you have experienced with me. So closing's fine, but I need to know that title is being done as well. That's about it. And also it's not as easy as just bringing a buyer, because I love my people and I work really hard to find them the perfect home and make sure that it fits their criteria and what they're looking for their family, in their budget, all of these things. So yeah, just wanted to address that one because it kind of took me aback a little bit. But again, if you don't do this every day, you don't know the ins and outs of it, and that's totally fine. That's what I'm here for. If you have any questions about for sale by owner, or if you have any questions about closings or any of these other things that I mentioned, would love to give you some more information and educate you so that you can understand this process better, because there's just so much that goes on and that can go wrong in a real estate transaction. That's why it's so important to have a listing agent advocating for you and a buyer's agent who's they're going to be on your side. So yeah, if you have questions, message me.